I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be how to plan a date that leads to sex. In other words, planning good dates that lead to sex. And so before you start out, the most important thing you got to understand is when you go out on a date with a woman, you ask a woman out, is you want to go out with a girl that has a high level of interest in you. In other words, she finds you attractive. In other words, if her girlfriends are going, hey, what about that guy Corey? What do you think of him? As long as she looks at you and thinks, hey, he's kind of cute, I'd go out with him. As long as she looks at it that way, then that would put a woman's level of romantic attraction for you in, I'd say, the 50% range, 50, 55%, somewhere in there. And so, in other words, you meet her minimum standards. And so by doing everything right and proper through the courtship and through dating, you can cause her to slowly fall in love with you over the coming weeks and months. It usually takes about 2 months or so if you do everything right. Obviously, the higher a woman's level of attraction, if she looks at you and you just do it for her, like her interest, say 80%, where she's giving you her phone number, she's asking you for your number, asking you for your business card, asking you what your email address is, she's getting all your numbers and giving you all of hers, and she even reaches out and calls you, I would say that's interest in the 80% range. And so when you go out with a woman like that versus somebody that's 55%, you're going to have to work a lot harder on that date in order to get to the point where it ends up in the bedroom later on. And so I got an email here from a guy who has some questions here about some dates because he's doing well with a girl that he's with, and he's got some other women, and so he wants to know some things that he can do on dates. But I'd say the number one most important thing you got to understand is level of attraction, where they start out. A chick that's 55% interest versus 85% interest, which is obviously a lot rarer. You don't meet women like that every day, but when they do, it's just so easy because you call them, they're excited to see you, they're totally flexible, they'll meet you anytime, any place, anywhere, they just want to be around you because they dig you. Versus a chick that's like 55% interest and she may be busy and she's not really going to try that hard to make things easy for you because she's not that into you. So it may take you 3 or 4 dates with that particular girl to get her to the point where she's acting like the one who's got 85% interest in you to start with. And so that's a huge thing. And so if you go out with a chick that you at least got a shot with and you show her a really great time, because women are driven by their emotions. And so girls just want to go out and have a good time, and because most people have boring and dull lives. And so it's like on the weekends, usually people go out Friday and Saturday night, and they like to do things socially, maybe have a few drinks, blow off some steam. It's like an escape from their boring and dull lives, and it's like the same thing. It's like when you go out on a date with a chick, you want her to forget about her dull and boring life. And so if she's laughing and she's having fun and she's experiencing fun places and she's doing fun things, she's going to be feeling good. And so if she's with you and she's feeling good and she already thought, hey, he's kind of cute to start out with, then as the course of the evening goes on and it's like all kinds of new sensations and experiences, maybe you're going to different places. Like what I always like to do is for a great first date to ensure that you get laid on the first date is to take a chick to 2 to 3 places all in one evening. Like say you pick her up, or if it's somebody you don't really know that well, say you meet her out at a wine and cheese bar, and if that goes really well and you have a good time, to say, I got this really great place we can go for happy hour and snacks. And so you go to a place for happy hour, a place that's cool, maybe a sports bar or something like that, a place you can have some drinks, maybe throw some darts or whatever. And then maybe after that, you go to a place where you can have some dinner, and then maybe you go play pool or do some bowling or miniature golf or some kind of activities where the two of you are standing, where you can interact with one another, where you can play games together, and just have a good time. Because if you're interacting with one another, it gives her, then you can watch and notice her body language, because the more she likes you, and the more her feelings for you grow throughout the course of the evening, and especially if you're going to 2 to 3 different places, and you've already kind of scoped these places out ahead of time, so you know they're going to be, you know what to expect, you're going to have a good time, and then she can just show up and have fun and laugh her ass off. You know, she gets a couple drinks in her throughout the evening, she starts to feel a little bit better, and the reason you want to be doing things like bowling or throwing darts or pool or stuff like that is because you can interact with one another, and it gives her a reason to touch you. And so when a woman starts touching you and she starts putting her hands on you and standing too close and bumping into you or leaning against you as you're standing talking, that communicates to, that's her way of saying touching. It's okay to touch me. I like you. I want to be touched. And then you put your arm around her. You can just pull her in and go grab her for a kiss. I mean, that's what you want to do. And so you start kissing her and you start making out, and then it gets a little heavy petting, and then you can just say, hey, you want to get out of here and go back to my place. And when you go back to your place, ideally you should have a nice little fridge there. It was like little 3-foot high fridges. You have a couple bottles of champagne, a couple champagne glasses in there, maybe some chocolates, maybe some whipped cream, maybe some chocolate body paint, all kinds of nice little things to put on each other's bodies when you're in the bedroom having fun. And then also you should have a pint of orange juice in there because you can make great mimosas. So a mimosa is 1/4 part orange juice to 3/4 parts champagne, and girls love mimosas. And so when you guys are having a good time and you're all over each other, you say, hey, you want to get out of here and go back to my place and have a little champagne party? I had a couple bottles of champagne. She's like, oh, that sounds great. Take her back to your place, pour some champagne, you continue making out, heavy petting. Then one thing leads to another. Then the clothes start slowly coming off, and just like I talk about in some of my other articles, and then it ends up in the bedroom. That's how the date should go. And so he says, hey, I just wanted to ask you something. I was dating this girl who's 18, and I'm 26, and then I saw another girl on Sunday, and that went well, but she didn't seem to be as interested in me as I was in her. And see, it's like when you're with a chick and you like her more than she likes you, you're just simply not going to have as much fun because she's just not going to be trying as hard. He says, anyways, I had a good laugh with her and wasn't serious with her, just kept things light and kept her talking. That's good. That's what you need to do, because when you get a woman doing 70 to 80% of the talking by asking questions, then you can control where the conversation goes. And plus, by doing that, you remain a mystery because she doesn't know much about you. And even when she asks you, you'll tell her a little bit, just enough to kind of get her interested, and then you'll go and start asking her another question. And it gives her a reason to be, because it makes her feel like, wow, this guy really cares about me. I mean, it's just human beings in general. When you ask people their opinions and talk to them, it creates rapport. It makes them feel like you really care about them and you really like them. I mean, if you're with this girl and you really like her, you're going to want to know everything about her. So it's pretty easy to come up with things that you want to know. Where'd you grow up? Where'd you go to school? What do you like to do for fun? What's the craziest shit you ever did? Those kinds of things. Are there any things that you did as a kid that you never told your parents about and you still haven't told your parents about it because you're too embarrassed? There's all kinds of fun things you can ask chicks on dates. He says, anyway, she's been away for a week, and because I've read some of your books now, I gave her tons of space, but let her know I'm still around. She rings me every night, and we speak for about an hour. We don't text at all during the day now, because I've been really busy with stuff. So what he's basically done is he's trained one of the girls he's been seeing for a few weeks, who's been blowing his phone up. She doesn't really text him too much throughout the day because he doesn't respond to her during the day anyways, because he's been like, hey, I'm busy, and so he'll get back to her later. And so now she'll text him around the time where she can usually get a response, which is just a few hours. And what's so cool about that, she knows you're like only available from like 6 to 7 p.m. or 5 to 7 p.m. I mean, she'll text you right in those areas, and because she won't want to wait. And what's great is you just set up the next opportunity to get together and meet. You just train them perfectly how you want them to show up in your life and interact with you. It's beautiful. Good job, man. She asked me what I was up to tomorrow, and I just said, I can't tell you, or I will have to kill you. He says, I used that from one of your other videos. He said, your books are working like a charm. He says, anyways, my question, because she's new, is if you could give me your opinion on where I could take her when she comes back. I don't want to do anything heavy, as if I splash the cash. She's going, yeah, it's like, just do what you would normally do. Don't go out. You don't need to spend a ton of money on a chick. The important thing is to engage her emotions by showing her a good time and going fun places. I mean, I live in Florida, and so there's like go-karts. There's all kinds of shit you can do outside here, miniature golf. You can go to the beach. You can take her out in a boat. You can take her out in jet skis. I mean, there's just so much stuff to do in Florida. But ideally, something where you can interact. Like going out on dates sucks. Like going to lunch sucks. But a place that's fun, it's got a good atmosphere, and you need to be at a place where you guys can talk to one another. A place that's got some atmosphere, but not a place that's so fucking loud you got to yell at each other, because that's no fun. like I said, the worst place you can go on a date is like a movie, because you're just sitting there staring at a screen, and that's lame. Girls just want to have fun and interact with you and get to know you. And while you sitting there talking to her the whole night and getting to know everything about her, I'm going, wow, really? Huh, how'd you get into that? No shit. Wow, that's fascinating. Tell me more. What else happened? Oh my God, what did you do? That's all you have to really say all night long, and she'll talk your ear off. If she really likes you, she'll be that way. And if she has low interest, it'll be next to impossible to have a conversation with her. So if you have a question you want to ask me, or there's a topic you want me to cover in a future video newsletter, go to my website, click the Contact Me tab on the left-hand side of your screen, and send me 1 to 2 paragraphs max detailing your questions, your situation, your challenges. Just give me several days to get back to you with a response, because I get a lot of email from the internet, and I also get a lot of it from my paying phone coaching customers. But be patient, and I will get back to you. If you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is going to be by booking a paid phone coaching session. You can do that by clicking the Products tab, which is going to be on the top of your screen when you go to my website, and just follow the instructions. And if you want to get a copy of my Kindle ebook, you can download that in under 60 seconds to any electronic device. On my website, underneath the email sign-up box, there is a link that will take you right to the Amazon Kindle download page. And I will talk to you soon.